blows my mind.
What's up, guys?
Heyo.
Got Sean Boy and Juan Valdez, which you're special guest because this is the first podcast you've been on.
Is there?
Oh yeah, man. That's what's up. What do you guys kind of got going on? Oh, and also, what you were saying there's like a lot of Discords for RuneScape, but there's not surprisingly as many podcasts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's maybe 3 active podcasts right now that have posted in the past month, if that. But there's for every facet of the game, I guess there's a skilling Discord, there's definitely a gear Discord, and then for whatever podcasts and raids communities that there are out there. Definitely a lot compared to what you would expect for a podcast, or compared to podcasts for this game.
100%, bro. Dills and I had spoken about that 2 episodes ago. Actually, I guess 3 episodes ago now. But yeah, Dills came on from the Wilderness podcast, and he agreed. I agreed that it's just kind of surprising that this game's been around for 20 years, and there's been a lot of podcasts about the game, but a lot of them are actually from 2009, 2011, the last time they posted. Like you said, as of recently, there's not many current ones. There's maybe 4 if you look at the iTunes. If you go through iTunes, there's maybe 3 or 4. When it comes to old school RuneScape, there might be 3. 3 or 4. It's pretty wild.
Right, yeah, definitely slim pickings for if you're trying to get some OSRS content.
I'm trying to tell Sean Boy to go ahead and start one up.
Yeah, I've been talking about it.
He's been spitballing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I like that. Support the idea.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I'll be hyper
time.
as shit at work, and I did that one day. I sent Juan a bunch of messages bro, we gotta do a podcast. And then I got home and I was fucking tired as shit. It happens every single time.
That's the thing, you feel like you have energy for all this shit while you're actually at work, and then you get home from work and you're just absolutely wiped, and there's you wonder how people pull it off outside of their actual day job.
Absolutely, bro. I 100% agree with you, and I can't remember if Sean Boy, we were talking about this yesterday maybe, about how you got to stay on your grind with anything, but how it's always typically the harder thing to do that's the most beneficial for you. It'd be easy for me to get home from work and watch Netflix and neglect the podcast. It's hard to especially when you're consistent about it, it's hard to get off from work, go home, and rather than sit down and relax, you devote your time to your craft. And like you said, in the morning times, dude, it's weird. In the morning times, it's you're all fired up, inspired. It's you want to write things down, but you can't because you're working, and it doesn't kind of allow for you to grab a notepad real quick. And then you're oh, it's okay. By the time I get off, I'll still feel this energy. Eat lunch, and you get back to work, man. Those last few hours, by the time you get off, you're toast.
Oh, dude, you're wiped. You're wiped. There's no shot.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's brutal. And that goes for anything. If you have a creative outlet that you try and keep up with, if you're working a day job, it's just damn near impossible to keep up with that outside of the time that you're actually at work. Because I feel when you're at work, your mind is just running wild. You have all these ideas, but after you get home, that shit is out the window. You're just wiped, and you're lucky if you can even account for a fourth of what you thought of when you're actually active and busy and whatever.
Yeah, man, I can't even, with that said, it's hard for me to imagine people that have artistic or creative ambitions, whether it be a podcast like we're doing or we're talking about, or whether it be a band, whether it be learning an instrument solo or learning how to use Fruity Loops in GarageBand. It's amazing how people can do these things, and they do these things, even with circumstances such as full-time jobs, obviously, but then children, man. Imagine having a family to come home to.
Impossible, dude.
So it really shows that as much as you're I'm 26. It's how old are you?
I'm 25. Yeah, I'm 26 at the end of next month, so practically 26. But yeah,
cool. So I mean, we're still, even though we feel kind of like old men sometimes, we're considered we're considered young compared to, I guess, older people and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
so important that when you have, because most people, I would say almost all people have dreams when they're younger, when they're children, when they're in high school and stuff like that. And it's super important to, talk about it, but then talking about it evolves into writing it down, and writing it down evolves into doing it. Doing it is ultimately what you gotta just go for.
That's the hurdle.
See, for me, it's like, it's not even like recording the podcast itself. It's like everything around it to like get it set up, like getting it set up on like the program to get it uploaded to all the different things, and then like making like a Discord for it and like advertising for it. It's like all that shit that's like making me like not want to like start one, because that's so much work just for the startup.
It will take up a lot of your time to do those things, but I will kind of bring us full circle back to what we're talking about. I would almost say that the harder part is to stay consistent and determined, not to basically neglect your child. If you start a podcast, that's your baby, your child. Don't neglect the baby or the family, like the listeners, by putting it off, watching anime or sports, for the entire week or 2 weeks, and not making it important.
It is so easy to just like stray from that goal. And then I don't know if you've listened to the update that Dills had about the podcast, but like It's like when you put something off for so long, you just keep looking at it, and then it seems like such a bigger just like a bigger task to overcome than it ever was. And then you just keep looking at it that way, and it just spirals to the point where you're just not touching it. It just never advances. It just sits in that, that corner, and you never touch it. You don't update it. You don't do anything with it. It just kind of grows as a burden on your conscience. And then, you come like 5 months later and you just have to do something about it. So it's just way too easy to put off, but not easy to actually get into and, accomplish that shit. You know what I mean?
100%, man. 100%. And so you have the right idea already. So you've come, and not everyone, comes to the right idea in their minds, at the same time, but you have the right idea, you know what you need to do. So, just do it, put it into play, man. Just like the whole Nike thing, just do it. But, we can add on to that, but real quick, I just wanted to say a little bit of RuneScape. Congratulations, Sean Boy, for hitting 99 Runecrafting, bro. After
for real, a fucking grind.
Grinding, bro. Good shit, man. I know that inspired people. I know that it inspired at least and I always mess up these names because they're both S names, but it's either Smack Nuts or Slan. I know that you're inspired to get on their Runecrafting grind. I think it might have been Smack Nuts.
Yeah, I think it was Smack he was talking about last night. Smack Nuts.
So that's really cool, man. How long do you know, like, roughly did it actually take?
I'm guessing 2.5 months. I mean, we could actually check, because the first podcast I did, I was like 91, I think. And I was like, I remember saying on there that I knew it was going to be like a month and a half. So I think it was like 2.5 months, but I'm not sure. I didn't really keep close track. I started when like the US like went into quarantine, so however long that's been.
It's like halfway through March, dude. God, that's like two full months that you've been Runecrafting.
Good timing.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Good timing, man.
Yeah, exactly. There's no better time to go on a grind like that than when you literally can't step outside your house. You may as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did a ton of shit on the side too, though. I played like a fuckload of League and watched like Twitch streams and YouTube, shit like that.
Got waxed in some League.
Got shit on in League for 2 weeks and then quit again. That's how that game usually goes.
Oh,
100%.
Did you hit a Partless Beaver from the Trinity Force podcast?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think he was kind of on a break too, so we didn't really end up playing at all. And then I kind of quit like a couple days after I hit him up. So he didn't really time out right. And he's way better than me, dude. Like he's diamond in the league. I think it's like top like 1% of players or some shit.
Wow.
I'm like gold, which is like top 50, I think. So
That's
he's like 10 times better than me. But
I wouldn't want to inconvenience him with my, my presence in a match.
being a fucking noob, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'd be his bane of existence if I joined the match with him. Oh shit.
He was talking about terms like smurfing, like stuff that I had complete like no idea about, like these league terms. And then he was talking about how he went diamond. So it's really cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort to get that good at league, dude. You have to put in a lot of fucking time and like stay dedicated to it. Right? I take it a lot more casually.
I mean, he's a teacher too. That's another impressive thing. Like as far as working the full-time job, or whatever, having these lesson plans that you probably have to think about in your head while you go home, but then also grinding it out on both RuneScape and League, doing something that you enjoy, and hitting goals and peaks that are desired. It's pretty sweet.
That's what's wild about like people that teach raids, because we have one guy who co-hosted the podcast for a little while, Magpies, and then just like a bunch of people in the Wild CC that they'll do like learners raids. And I did my first one the other night and I was just absolute garbage. So you have to have so much patience. Like if people are doing it like a 25-minute raid on like normally with people that raid all the time, for the fact that you can just sit there for 55 minutes or like an hour and like teach people how to raid, like between work and whatever else you have going on, it's huge. Like some people are just they're saints in that in that fashion, and even to give up like a split after that, just wild that people have that dedication to it.
Yeah, man. So you're from the Wilderness CC, the Wilderness Podcast CC.
Yeah. That's actually through Sean is how I found out about this podcast.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
The one that is fucking hammered, dude.
Spreading the word. Spreading the good word.
Spreading the gospel.
Do you remember that night? Because we were all just talking for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I was fucking hammered. And
I think we all were. At least you and I were. But no, I definitely recall.
Because I like blacked out after. That's all I remember is like you left and then I blacked out and I feel like I had to like talk to Mickey for like a whole another hour. I think I did.
Yeah, we talked for like at least an hour, and then you were helping me out. I'm pretty sure that was when you were helping me out with the a WoW key, the monkey ambassador part of RFD.
Oh yeah.
You met me at Apatoll, and like I think I needed to get my zombie monkey Gree, and I
kind of remember that.
I got thrown in jail.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I remember like trying to like help you run through the caves, and I was like too drunk, and then you're like,
you fucked up. Just look at the wiki,
dude. I think you ran out. You didn't bring prayer pots, and it's that long ass cave, and you're like, well, I'm about to go do something. Yeah, you left me mid cave, but it was perfect because I ended up getting what I needed. You definitely helped me out. But yeah, no, that's really cool. So, I mean, it would have been neat to have you on that episode while we talked to Dills. It was already kind of crowded as it was. I think it was probably like 6 people.
Yeah, I saw mad people came on after a while.
There were shopping carts like slamming in the background.
Bubbles on the podcast.
Like Pearl Harbor. You had jets taking off, B-52 bombers taking off in the background. But yeah, no, it was a great time. Yeah, man, that's really cool. I guess the big question is, how long have you been playing RuneScape, and what really got you into it?
For myself, it was let's see, when did I start? It was probably like 2003, I'd say around there. But I literally just had like one kid I went to school with that mentioned something about it. He said there was like a potion in this game that knocks all the feathers off a chicken, and I was like, all right, what is this kid talking about? So I joined it. Like, I don't even know if that potion still exists in game, but I guess if you go to the apothecary in Varrock, there may or may not be a potion that knocks all the fucking feathers off.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So that was like the main reason. I was like, all right, well, what the fuck is this kid talking about? So I joined it, and then the main thing that hooked me in, I got a job selling like mining and selling rune essence to some guy for like 5,000 coins an hour, and I thought that was just a great GP rate. So I was like, oh dude, I'm fucking making bank. So that shit like hooked me in right from the start.
Wow.
Like in hindsight, I was a huge fucking simp, so who knows? But
wow,
but outside of that,
5K
that's
an
how
hour.
that all started. Yeah. How about yourself?
Well, first you realize you're probably getting underpaid below the Venezuelan bot farm.
You know, hindsight's 2020. We ain't gonna talk about that.
100%, bro. Did you ever have a GF?
No, I did not. I was not that big of a fucking RS sim. I did not pay 10k GP for a GF, but I did mine S for 5k an hour. So you know, you win some, you lose some. It is what it is.
5k an hour, bro. You could have had a GF for 10k in 2 hours.
I know, right? 2-hour girlfriend. That's what we all wish for, right?
I think they call those prostitutes.
Even those you can get for less than 10k an hour. Let's be real.
For real. RuneScape prostitutes. Oh my God.
Yeah, right. That's how you save your money. But that was pretty much what it was. But yeah, what about you guys?
Well, I started about 2006. You know, edgy point in my life, hence the old Fire Riot 666 name, made in 2006.
Nice.
I was in 6th grade. But you know, I was a metalhead or whatever. That was pretty much it, man. I remember back in like 4th or 5th grade, my neighbor, like he was trying, we were trying to play out, for some reason, and he wanted to show me RuneScape first. And at the time, the screen took so long on his computer, even though his computer was better than mine, to be able to load it, because mine took even longer because I tried to load it, and that's why I inevitably didn't play it in 2004, but had to wait a couple years because I don't even think my computer or internet could connect. But anyways, yeah, we were supposed to be playing outside, and he was like trying to load up the screen. I'm like, come on, dude, let's go, please, let's go play outside. And you know, he showed me, I think, a little bit of it when we got back inside. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's my story.
It sounds about right. Just waiting for that shit to load, not loading, giving up, and then, you know, eventually you come back to it anyway. Sounds like the storyline for everybody who tries to quit this game. Like, you quit for a little while, but you always end up coming back. And that's just the way it fucking goes.
That's what people say, man. People are like, every time I'm like telling someone like, oh yeah, man, like, what do you think we're all gonna, what all is going to happen when we all max out or whatever, you know, hit 99s, everything. And people are like, people like talk about it like it's some sort of like haunted house or like some sort of story of some demon girl that roams the hallways. They're like, I don't know, man. You say that you're gonna quit at 99, but have you heard the expansion?
To be honest, everybody says they're going to 99, but you know, most people don't even make it that far, let alone if they do make it to 99. There's always like pets, a collection log, like whatever else. There's always something to do. And I think that's how it gets everybody back. Like, people look at it as like a heroin addiction. Like, you can stop. Like, there's no such thing as quitting RuneScape. There's just taking a break. So it just depends on how long that break is before you inevitably come back and, you know, grind out another skill or whatever it may be. It's just wild.
That really does sound like a heroin or like a crack cocaine addiction. Like
100%, dude.
Like, I haven't done cocaine in a whole 8 months, and then it's like, oh, dude, you hear about this new expansion pack on RuneScape? And
it's like all you need is that one. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I can go for another 8 ball.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna log in
on the spot. You're like, okay, man, I'll just log in once. We'll see how it goes.
Just log in once. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna bank stand.
That's what should be like the actual like, I don't know, tag of RuneScape is like, you know how it's like meth, not even once. It's like RuneScape, can't even log in once, or else you're just hooked. You're hooked for at least like 4 months at a time. It's absurd.
if they're being accurate, that probably you're probably right, man. I mean, because I mean, think about it. They got us hooked when we were kids in like 2005 or six or whatever, 2004, and now here we are. Over 10 years later, revisiting the habit.
Yeah, now that you put it that way, they got to get you while you're kids. They give you all this, all this like quest content where the characters are kind of loopy and whatever. But that's how they bring you in for the later years when you're 20. You're trying to find like max XP rates, and that's how they stick you. They just get you while you're early. Absurd shit.
That's like that. That's like that saying. I can't remember who said it, but it's like basically I don't know if it was Zoroastrians or Zoroastrianism or something like that from history, but it was basically like, give us a child till they're 7 and we'll have them for life. Like it was talking about like the churches or whatever, like the organized religion. It was basically saying, give us your child before 7 so we can indoctrinate them and we'll own their minds and soul for life.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it goes. Give me, okay. I actually looked up the quote that you're talking about. It looks like it's from Aristotle. Give me a child until he's 7 and I will show you the man. So give me your child, says Runescape, until he's 7 and I'll show you the man that max XP rates turns out. That's wild. That's essentially what it's like though. Like if they get you early, they get you for life. You hate to see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Like I've explained to some of my friends and some of the like younger viewers or listeners here, is that it might not be the most healthy habit, but what it is also is it's definitely not the worst. Like to play RuneScape all day, or even if you do it for, you really only have 8 hours of your life. Like if you sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours, and you only have 8 hours, and that's with driving home, driving to work, eating dinner, picking up groceries. So let's just say you play for 4 hours a day or whatever. That 4 hours a day is not as bad as if you were to be driving around town 4 hours a day looking for a gram of coke, or trying to feed your heroin addiction, or spending 4 hours at a bar every day, the same bar, because they have
100%
cheap drinks, or even if it's like, oh, I'm just going to smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, it's like, well, this is still probably better for you, or it is better for you than if you were to do cigarettes. So I think that's also a part of why I wanted to start this 40 push-up a day challenge, or for 6 days out of the week. And you can choose one day off. It could be any day, but it's only one day that you get off. But it's something that we can all do while we play RuneScape. And like the results are almost immediate. I mean, I don't know, everyone's body's different, but like body builds and types and stuff. But I noticed that after doing 40 push-ups, I mean, immediately I can see the difference in my arms. I mean, of course, it only lasts for a couple hours, but then gradually, as you do it daily, it lasts for the whole day, it lasts for the whole week. And so yeah, the whole point is to do healthy things while you're also playing games or whatever it be. So yeah, I don't think that this is you might not be able to show for much, like as far as in society or on your resume, like, yeah, I maxed out 99 to all my skills. Like you can't really show that to a college and they'll be like, oh, you're in. But
no, you're right. You're definitely right though. Like you can, like, this is a great time to do some shit that you wouldn't normally do. But I think based on an article I read like 10 years ago, so it may not be relevant or not, but like that 15 push-up mark is what you want to hit every single day to see like a noticeable difference in your body. So even like your 40 push-up challenge, whether you're doing 40 or you're doing more, that's like one concrete thing that you can do every single day to actually make a difference in quarantine. And like whether it's doing push-ups, whether it's learning a new skill, reading a book, like my roommate's actually learning to code in the
awesome
65 days that he's at off. So depending on like how you take advantage of the time, it can not be such like a loss based on like how people look at the economy. You can see it as like a whole loss overall, or you can make the most of your time alone and take a personal gain when society's at a loss. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're going to make the most out of the time that you have. And, depending on what other people do, it is what it is. They're either going to take advantage of it or they're not. So it really just depends on what you're going to do with your own time. So the fact that you're doing 40 push-ups a day is phenomenal. Like, there's no better use of your time than personal development. You know what I mean?
Cool, man. Yeah, that's really good for him too. Is he doing like C++ or Java? Do you know?
I think it's through Code Academy. So I think I'm not sure what it starts with. I think it's like HTML, C++. It may touch on Java, or it may go straight to Python. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but at the end of the day, if you're learning to code like in any language, you may as well take this time to use it. You know what I mean?
100%. I actually, it's super relevant because Sunday, I guess, I talked to my little cousin. We were hanging out, and he's 15, and I think that's like a freshman in high school, and so he'll be a sophomore next year. I'm pretty sure is the deal. But anyways, I know that he was like some of his goals when he was younger was talking about designing video games and like computer IT stuff, and I kind of looked at. Which is 100% a great idea. Like here in Virginia alone, like cybersecurity jobs, for example, are popping because, they just are nationally everywhere. But then you also have like Northern Virginia with like all the government stuff, like Fairfax, Alexandria, kind of like close to the government stuff. But anyways, I was talking to him, and I was basically trying to drill into his head that just like we spoke about before, you talk about your plan, you write it down, and then you just do it. And I was just thinking about how when I was in high school, my dreams or goals or whatever were to be like a drummer in a band, because I've always played the drums. I know that I can play well. But I just thought that it was like, being at that young age, I thought it was going to be something that just fell into my lap just because I was good at it. I thought just because I happen to be good at it and I've been playing for so long, it would be an opportunity that arose. What's up, Cretan? I was actually about to just message you in RuneScape. I'm over here mining at the Motherlode mine, so I can get to 50 and we can start doing Heroes Quest.
I love you right now. I just turned on Discord and automatically put me into this. That was
yeah.
weird. I was just like, man, motherfuckers is talking to me now.
Oh, dude, I thought you wanted to be a part of the podcast.
I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't ready yet. I don't even have my headphones. What the fuck?
It is what it is, bro.
I guess I'm part of it now. Fuck.
Well, special guest Cretan. So we got two special guests on today. We kind of just caught that one like a spider and a fly.
The more the merrier, bro. More the merrier.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so anyways, real quick, just to wrap up, I guess from what I can remember me talking about was I just really wanted to drive it into him that, okay, so yeah, like my goals forever were to be, basically playing drums professionally, whatever, or actually even doing IT stuff, because that also came naturally pretty easy to me. But what I failed to realize at such a young age is that you can have your plan, you can write down your plan, but unless you start taking steps, whether you start with the 40 push-ups a day and work up to 80 next week and then 120, unless you start with discovering a little bit about how podcasting works, you got to do that third step. You can think about it, you can write it down, but you got to do it. So where I was talking to him about, what type of programs was he, or languages was he thinking about? So I'm thinking about getting him a book on like Java and C++, and because when you're like 14, you can't really work. You don't. So you can't really make money unless your parents are giving it to you. So that's why I want to kind of help out our family members, especially when they're young, with their dreams and stuff.
Oh, dude, 100%. If you got somebody in your life that's like they have a concrete dream that they're working towards, anything that you can do to help them, fucking do it. Like, why not?
100%. Yeah, just like Cretan and I's dream right now is to get Heroes Quest done.
Just fucking do it. Like, who cares?
So I'm helping him achieve that dream by me working these levels up, because he's already ready. I believe you already have 50 mining, and
I'm ready to go.
Gotta harpoon that tuna, and you'll be there in the next day. So
Sounds
good.
dirty.
Ride that tuna snake all the way to Ponytown.
It sounds like a dad joke that like my dad would have told me when I asked him about sex. Like, like, Dad, how exactly do you bone a girl? Well, you gotta harpoon that tuna.
Yeah, you just gotta poon the tuna, and next thing you know, you're there. It is what it is.
Was your dad a fisherman? I can see.
I would hope. With that kind of analogy.
Yeah,
Jesus
with
Christ.
him just popping that off the top of the head.
It's a wild ass analogy if you aren't a fisherman. Goddamn.
Well, we are Eskimo brothers because we fuck the same women, but so I guess that's,
You and your dad?
I guess that's technically a fisherman.
Damn. Stepmom porn be real these days. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, stepmom. No, not stepmom. I never have a stepmom. I was talking about my mom.
Even worse. Is it worse?
He broke his arms. Don't blame him.
Oh, no. Okay, he broke his arms. That clears up everything.
Both of them.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't support incest, and I don't take part.
He's got to do a disclaimer.
Just plain, like, no, I don't support incest. I don't support incest porn. Like, oh, shit.
But if my stepmom is stuck under the sink,
No.
You gotta call a plumber, but there's only one specific plumber you can call.
I feel like step is a little bit different. I feel like step is a lot different. That's a huge step.
That's a huge step.
Yeah, morally, like if someone,
there's related and then there's step related. There's a difference.
Like if the Nazis were to have practiced like father mother incest, child incest, the whole world would have been up in arms. But if they would have been practicing against step parent incest, the whole world probably would have been a little bit like, well.
I love how whenever in an argument there's a difference of sides, it always goes to Nazis. Like that's the line that you draw. Where the Nazis are, this is what's right and this is what's wrong. So like if there's Nazis that are like, yes, step brother, step sister porn, that's okay. You're like, oh no, fuck that. We can't agree with that. But if the Nazis say it's okay, then you're like, well, yeah, but the Nazis were wrong. But yeah, I understand that shit. I love how that's the Nazi line that we drawn.
What's up, Smack Nuts?
What up? I just joined in on Nazis and like stepbrothers and sisters.
Nazi incest porn. That's the perfect time to join a podcast.
Don't you think?
Yes.
Smack Nuts. Don't you think that like if Hitler would have been running, which he did run for the German people or whatever, and he's on his like little pedestal, or whatever, he's giving speeches. Don't you think if he was to like talk about like how he fucks his biological parents, they would totally be like, whoa, this guy is way too much of a weirdo. Like,
dude, that guy was on coke the entire time. He already was a weirdo.
And meth, bro.
Okay, let's slow down. It was speed. All right, it was amphetamines. It wasn't coke. Let's not drag coke through the dirt.
He was good. He played with it.
I think he did get injections of coke and then heroin.
It was definitely amphetamine. I don't know what else that man got.
I'm not talking this guy took a bump. This motherfucker was like inhaling it. This guy went crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would get shots of the meth daily, but then he would have little concoctions of coke, dope, and some sort of hormone. Like,
do you think
taurine? Taurine was one of the hormones that he used.
Do you think Hitler had like a coke table and had like a pile of coke just sitting on it? He would just shove his face into. Like, you
that
think he was
had
the Tony Montana
cut out
Tony
on
Montana
table. He's waiting for that shit.
He probably
had a little 4x4 square of mirror.
Just ready to go.
Like driven
fixes
into
his mustache
table, ready to fucking go.
Dude,
I've always wondered what
he had that
people like that do in their
bill
fur.
rolled up. He was ready.
Yeah.
No shot. Bill. That man wasn't ready to fucking hit that.
I've always wondered what people like that would like go home and do to like take the day off. Like, what did Hitler do? Like after a stressful day of like
large genocide.
Doing all his Hitler shit.
What do you mean?
What did he do when he went home? Did he like smoke a cigarette?
You're duded. You're like, well, I could go to bed, or I could beat the fuck out of my wife and then go to bed.
Oh, God.
Wife, are you kidding me?
Dude,
you got all that pent up energy. What do you think Hitler's about to do? He's gonna beat his wife and then go to bed.
He wasn't playing Runescape, that's for sure.
Not only did he have a coke table and a coke party room, but his stepmom was probably naked, tits out, pussy spread on the mattress,
It's
counting
sad.
his
Fucking the best friends.
counting his euros while he had a rolled up euro in his nostril, sniffing a line off his stepdaughter's ass cheeks. I
Yeah,
bet
he
you.
used francs. He didn't
What do
use
you
euros.
mean?
Don't disrespect the man.
It's too specific, but you're too like close to being accurate for me to refute it. So I mean, I just got to roll. Like
We just lost somebody. I don't know.
I don't know what just
I don't
happened.
know. I feel like we lost like a couple people.
Sean
but-
Boy came in.
Did
and
all of Discord crash? Or
Oh,
just me?
Sean Boy.
No, just
I
two.
don't see you, Sean. Oh wait, nope.
I think it was
I
your
don't know.
first
I don't know what happened.
Oh
think it
no,
was
dude, my stream went down. The Three Tick Chin stream went down.
Maybe Craig got mad at us making fun of crack. Who knows?
Probably. He's like you're talking shit about crack. All right, well, fuck you. I'm just gonna take down your
Here's some
video.
here's some of my about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know.
I
Crack.
smoke cracks, Mr. Rogan. Dude, speaking of Mr. Rogan, he got that like $120 million deal from Spotify. That was pretty epic. And
Yeah,
he's got
That's a big move.
Yeah, and I actually he said something about it on one of the more recent episodes. I'm trying to reach my phone so I can.
I listened to. I'm not sure if it was the last one. It may have been one of the second to last one. But he's just basically saying it's like a partnership. It's not a full on deal. So it's going to be the same content, same everything. Just going to be a different platform that it gets released to.
David Pakman. I think it was David. Pakman.
Yeah. It was David Pakman. That's the one that I listened to. You're right.
Yeah, man. I'm actually there's a couple. I took a couple screenshots, like timestamps of that one. I'm gonna actually do a short review on that because they said some pretty interesting things as far as like humanism goes, as far as like how we treat just treat people in general, but also some interesting things with Spotify and. It was a good episode.
I like that one just as an overall because it was a good back and forth on two different points of view where they would both concede on different points, but they would both refute the different points that were given. So like between him and David Pakman, I feel like they have a good back and forth on like what people need to hear on both sides of this whole coronavirus thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you've listened to it yet. You said you didn't listen to it yet, right, Mickey?
What, David Pakman?
Yeah, that episode.
I'm listening to it right now today.
Yeah,
I'm near towards the end.
I feel like that's just a good like back and forth for everyone who's like, because I've listened to Rogan for like years, so it was nice to hear somebody just put another side of the argument to him and then hear his opinion throughout the conversation, like just kind of adapt to that, but also refute the points that he's giving that aren't necessarily like the ones that you shouldn't take at face value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It was like you said, it was back and forth. Like you had, which Joe, I think he typically tries to do a good job, anyways, of balancing out the liberal way of thinking of things and the conservative way of thinking of things. But David Pakman and Rogan on that episode definitely had a nice back and forth conversation with kind of both sides exposed as to what the pros and cons are from both the left and the right.
For sure.
So yeah, it was a great one. For
sure. Definitely a good one to listen to.
So you've listened for a while, a couple years?
Yeah, honestly, a couple years. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what the first one I listened to was, but I so I actually moved from the Midwest to the East Coast about 2.5 years ago. And while I had all this time to commute, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. So that's when I really started listening a lot. So I've been listening for a while, and like he does, like for the most part, he's just takes the position of the everyman. Like I feel like I can relate to him for most everything that he says. A couple things here and there I'll disagree with, but the great thing about Joe is that he'll be the first one to just say like, yeah, I don't know enough about this subject to continue this argument, and then he'll just leave it. And that's, I think, why so many people, I'm sure yourself, Mickey, agree with like what he says, is just because like if he doesn't have enough information, he'll just kill the argument right there and he'll move on. But like I'll just pick up information from his arguments and I'll just move on, just use that as another just another form of gaining information. You know what I mean? It's just another source of information, another source of entertainment.
Yeah, he does. He kind of is humble, and he kind of, I guess, has to be. I mean, to be in the position that he's in is ridiculous to be the number one most popular podcast on iTunes, probably I think ever, but also just he's in the top 3 every time. It's an impossible job almost. It's kind of like being the president. I mean, everything that he says, he's got to think about it and how it's going to affect him. And I love the fact that he's not tied to any like corporations or managers that are like really restrict or any political agendas that he's tied to. Because it's nice, it's refreshing in a world like today to have an opinion that's honest and humble about, like, you know, when they're not, you know, they don't know everything. You know, to be curious and to ask questions is almost more important than to have the answers.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it just adds a little more credibility to his whole persona. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. So are you in game right now? You still bank standing, or what's going on?
I am in game. I'm not bank standing. I'm currently Hydra standing, but I'm in the spot where you're in an instance, so nobody can really tell where you're at. I've had a few people, I think 2 in this world, message me like, yeah, good luck, whatever. But for the most part, I've just been bank standing at Hydra, just kind of waiting on this, just because it's kind of hard to talk in PVM where you're at,
right?
Dependent, but yeah. So I've been bank standing for a minute. But where are you guys at, Sean? I know you're fucking streaming your Hunter. Mickey, you're probably doing something for that RFD gloves.
Yeah.
But just in case I'm not 100% sure where you guys at right now.
Smack nuts, Cretan.
Oh, I'm at farming right now. You almost learned to do those skills that you can do while talking.
Yeah, right. That's the only thing. Like, I know for a fact I can't do anything talking while Hydra, but just looking at the people in this the fucking Discord chat and looking at where they are in game, I feel like I have a pretty good gauge of where they are, trying to level the skills. So we'll see. Well, straight away, I know Sean's at Hunter for the next probably 2 months if it takes as long as
2 months.
I'm just gonna say is if it takes as long as fucking runecrafting does, that shit is a 2-month grind. I'm not touching that. I don't give a shit about that. So it's really about where Smack Nuts and Cretan are, but I have no fucking idea. So we'll figure that shit out.
Cretan, where did you say you were at?
I'm at the same place. I just killed the Spory. I'm at Farming Guild.
Okay. So y'all getting some farming experience. Can't argue with
farming people.
Can't argue with that, bro. Farming experience,
really
that just slaps. There's no reason you shouldn't be farming. Mm-hmm. I should be farming, but I'm too lazy. Too lazy.
So right now all you're doing is just standing.
I'm just standing. I made friends with this dude who's oh no, there he goes. He said good luck, and it's been like 30 minutes. You'll make friends with people, but you won't get a message from them for like 50 minutes if they're actually PVMing. And that's exactly what this dude did. God damn it.
Be careful, man. He might like try to lure you down to the basement of Varrock Bank. Like,
I'm sure. There's I don't know if he's gotten the same scam, but there's definitely been like, I went to, do you know what Grotesque Guardians is, Mickey?
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's this Gargoyles boss that it's like best to do it in full melee and full range gear. But I was in there with full range, and it was like 20 minutes after the fact. I didn't even have my full range gear on, but somebody messaged me like, hey, I'm quitting the game. I'm giving away 200 mil. PM me if you're interested. So I was like, all right, well, yeah, I mean, 200 mil, whatever. So I PM'd him. Yeah, of course I'm interested. Get the fuck out of here. You think I'm not going to take a quick... fuck out of here if you think I'm not going to take a quick 200 mil. Jesus Christ. So he like messaged me and he's like, okay, so for this 200 mil, all you have to do is go to the GE, show me that you have all of your fucking armadillo and blah 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 whatever.
Show me your penis.
Yeah, they basically show me that full range, show me your dick, and then I'll give you the teleports. And it's the same thing that's going on in the GE right now. Like, people will just get so greedy that they don't give a fuck about what they're putting up in the trade. They'll trade it. They won't look at the second screen. They'll hit accept again. And then before they know it, they've traded 2 teleports for like 2 like max gear items. So I've got a Dragon Hunter crossbow and a fucking T-bow for a Camelot teleport and a fucking Sears Village teleport.
Oh wait, hold on. Is this a scamming guide? Hold on, repeat that shit. Let me write this down.
This is a scamming guide. Let's do it. Like, honestly, if you aren't a bot, the only reason I think this shit works is because they have a bot that accepts the trade as soon as you trade and as soon as you put the item in the window. Because I've tried it on different accounts and they'll decline the trade every single time. So unless you have a fucking trading bot that accepts it on instinct, they probably won't give a shit about your trade. That's why I'm just trying to do a little PSA for anybody that's trying to get anything over market price.
If you get caught doing that, like if you get hit by that scam, you deserve to get hit by that scam.
You should, because there was the only reason
you let that happen to you.
The only reason I'm saying that is because there was a streamer like 3 days ago that let that shit happen. He traded a Dragon Hunter Lance for 2 teleports, and he's like, "Wait, what? What?
He made good profits.
Huh?" And he didn't realize it. He didn't realize it until like 2 teleports later. He's like, "Oh fuck, where's my Dragon Hunter Lance?" And it's like, "All right, that 200 bill, that's way over there in the distance. We don't give a shit about that." And like, nobody cares. Like, nobody gives a shit. So if you don't want to end up as that simp that gave away a Dragon Hunter Lance, you should probably just, fuck out of all those lures and scams and shit, because nobody cares. Except for those robots.
Hey, I got a question real quick for actually both of you, but Cretan first. Oh, Cretan, how long? Well, how did you come up with your name, your username, Cretan?
That's actually my dog's name.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean? That's like a creature, right? A creature.
It's Greek. It's Greek. So, well, I mean, there's a Cretan, which is like delinquent. But then the way I spell it, it's Greek. So it's like Greek mythology. It follows Zeus turning into a white bull. My dog's a white pit bull, so I call him Cretan.
Oh shit, man! You got some like magic dog over there. Some
magic.
Some
He's flying around fucking bitches. That's all Zeus did. He turned into a bull. Fucked this bitch. Created a mentor. And he's just like, I'm out.
I'm out.
That's a pretty chill dog, dude. Does he have an OnlyFans, or does he?
He's sick, bro. He makes so much money. He's photogenic, bro.
So have you been?
You peaked my interest.
Have you been playing roughly about the same amount of time as everyone else? Like, since about 2006, 2007. When did you start?
Yeah. Originally, I started 2007.
Hell yeah, dude! So we were up last night or whatever. We're chilling last night, and for like over an hour, I was talking to you in Smack Notes, but for over an hour, I was standing at the bank in the East Bank in over by Nightmare Zone, because I was trying to figure out something to do, and I just kept getting like distracted with conversation and texting and stuff like that I ended up staying there for like an hour. And then you guys were like, we all talked about pest control and getting void, and I was like, yeah, I'm down for pest control. I need to get my void. And then like after like 30 minutes goes by, I hear you guys like playing game after game of pest control, and then you're like, where are you? But I wanted to thank you for getting me out of the bank standing trance that I was in, because
you got enough XP gained for that day for bank standing. I thought you needed to put it somewhere else.
we talked about like, what if you could get XP for bank standing, and then like I was like, well, what if you could make an app for XP tracking of bank standing?
It's like idle hours. It's just fucking you over.
You could have like a high scores. It could be a skill in RuneScape.
That's what it needs to be. High scores of just like non-movement. No
Yeah,
movement.
you may as well. Shit.
Maybe
Ooh, new PB, hour and a half without actually clicking. Good for me. Gives you a little fucking message at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah. So now this, I also know that this is funny. Juan Valdez, how did you come up with your name, and what type of crap do you get for your name?
No, so I get so much Rick and Morty crap. You wouldn't
Wait, it's Szechuan Juan, right?
Yeah. So my in-game name is Szechuan Juan. So naturally, everybody who sees it, I was actually talking shit at the GE just yesterday about all this shit, and they were talking like, "Oh, this Rick and Morty simp gets his name from a TV show." To be honest, I have never seen that episode of Rick and Morty where they do the whole Szechuan sauce thing. I've never seen it in my life.
Mulan sauce.
But so many people will message me about that, about like the fucking sauce, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's whatever. And they won't get it. They won't get it for one. And then the ones that do understand are just like, they'll message me and then they'll move on. So it doesn't matter. But I've had like only a handful of people that take the whole Szechuan Juan, and like I've had 3 people maybe tell me it's their favorite username ever, and then 2 people tell me it's the worst fucking thing in the world, and they'll message me and then they'll leave and they don't give a shit. But it's the people that tell me it's their favorite and then leave that I do it for it. Because I told Sean the other day, like, there's so many other usernames I could take, but for some reason this shit is just so hilarious to me. I'm gonna keep it.
Now, when you were first in the Discord, I kind of joined in mid conversation of you and Sean.
Yeah.
Is it true that like people will give you shit, maybe thinking that you're like a Mexican or something, and be racist, or like call you?
100%. That's the thing. I figured it out first when I was doing my void grind at Pest Control. I figured out real quick that like regardless of what you do in your account, regardless of how you play, people just based on your name are gonna be racist right from the start. Because I didn't even have Szechuan Juan. I had like Juan Valdez 16, which for anybody who's listening who doesn't know, it's a type of coffee, and that shit is coffee that's featured in Futurama that explodes. So there's no reason I should be proud of Juan Valdez, but some people just take Juan Valdez and they run with that shit. They run with that shit and they take it till like it explodes, and like I don't know. Either which way.
Like, have you ever been called like a beaner or like a wetback?
Dude,
or
I've been called much worse. Are you kidding me? Beaner and wetback? Them shits is like that's low level racism. You can call me that all day. I won't give a fuck. But
and you are white. Not that it matters.
I am. No, I'm white. I'm very white. So that's why it was just super weird to experience racism as a white person on the other end of like, you beaner, wetback, faggot, nigger. Like, there's no reason I should be experiencing this other than the fact that I have Juan in my name. But these people are just like, dude, off the cuff. They're just they're going at it. There's no reason for that. So I mean, the end of the day comes.
That's funny as shit, though. That's a funny experience, because I was dying.
It's hilarious
when I heard you and Sean talking about that, like right here in the conversation. Because just like to picture that going on, like, and just
it's wild. Like, I don't know, it's
funny.
The thing is that it's just like a hard experience to try and explain to somebody else. Like, I can explain racism to somebody else. I can explain fake racism to somebody else. But like, if you're literally experiencing fake racism on the fact that you should be experiencing real racism, and that's the whole point of you experiencing that, it's just wild.
What?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you're experiencing racism when you should be experiencing actual racism, like, wrap your mind around that. Does that make sense at all? It doesn't. It should. It shouldn't. It shouldn't make any sense. And that's why the whole thing was hilarious to me. Because, like, y'all are racist, but I shouldn't really care about it because I'm fucking white, so who cares? But there's this whole community that's just like dead set on that shit. That's why the whole thing was just absolutely funny to me. And it's
that is pretty funny.
It's fucked up that I can look at it in that sense that like they tried to be racist, but they couldn't because I'm not white. Like I'm not brown because I'm not white. Like it's just fucked up, you know? There's no reason they should experience that, and everybody else should not. But
that's funny.
Somehow, some way, that shit is hilarious.
I'm gonna change my name to something scandalous, like welfare.
Change your name to something like Vietnamese. You'll get fucking. You'll get absolutely roasted for days.
That's funny as shit. Yeah, I've never like just based off of the name. The most shit I've ever gotten for Fire Riot 666 is just like either edgelord. People will call me like an edgelord,
yeah,
or like a Satanist or something. Like if I'm talking about something positive, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, look at your username." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I understand how you would think that, but you don't understand that this was created in 2006, and also, numbers hold power. If you believe in it or whatever." Like numerology, symbolism, and stuff like that. And I like 6. 6 upside down is 9, and the holy trinity of numbers is 369 that Nikola Tesla was Tesla. So
then you have the 3-6 Mafia.
You 100%.
369, damn good time.
Exactly. Yeah. Juicy J.
And you got it right. You got it
Little
right.
Johnson.
Oh, she be right. Maybe one more time. Get low.
Get low. Get low. Get low.
To the window. Oh fuck! I'm in jail. Dave Chappelle, get me out.
Oh shit. So yeah, what other like cool things have happened? I know Memra was on last night. He just got like a 24 mil drop today. It was some sort of basilic. Yeah, man, one drop. It was some sort of basilic jaw. I think.
He got the jaw.
Basilic jaw, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Little jaw gets you out of the fucking jail.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that helmet you put it on? It's like the Nezernoid.
Neznaut?
Neznaut?
Yeah, Neznaut.
What's It's not.
Nezzy.
Just call it.
I love this game.
Nezzy, and y'all be done.
N-E-Z-Z-Y. Boom.
Just call it the head
You see that, Bobby?
Because
you call that a Nezzy, and then you won't have to pay any consequences.
Nezzy, what?
Yeah, just call that shit the Nezzy. You'll be home free. Nobody cares.
Nezzy, please.
Nezzy, please. I got you right here. It's all right.
Damn it, Bobby.
You got this right here, then you got the Nezzy trimmed, and then you got the Nezzy. Nobody else cares. Okay.
Imagine if you walked into jail and the jail cell was dark as shit, like you couldn't see anything, so you're sleeping, and so you just go into your jail cell, you get on the top bunk, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night you hear that voice. Well, all the pudding pops.
Well, you got the pudding pops right at the top. You got the Nezzy. You get the Nezzy, but you get the pudding pops, and nobody cares.
You get the top bunk, and I'm down here with my pudding pops.
Until it turns out you died on step 3, and then you get the pudding pop on step 3, and then you die after step 3.
That would
nobody
be
cares.
Absolutely terrifying. I mean, what would you guys do?
Dude, there's no way. There's no way they can make that shit exist. Are you kidding me? There's no fucking way.
I'd hit my
they
life
can
alert.
make that shit exist.
You had Bill Cosby. If you had Bill Cosby as your seller,
I agree. Who said they would put on life alert? Because I'd put on life alert.
Hit life alert instantly. Hit that button.
I don't have that button in there.
I agree with you. It's life alert or like go body a podcast. Who gives a shit?
What the hell is
like,
life
who
alert?
gives a shit?
Life
you
alert.
Hear life alert? Bro, if you ain't heard of life alert, you're fucking dead. You're fucking dead.
That's where old people fall, right? And they can't get back up.
Well, see, they market it to old people, but anybody can really buy one and have one.
Exactly. They market it to fucking old people, but anybody can have it. So if I have it and I alert it, y'all got to pick my ass up, or else you're gonna pick everybody else up with this fucking life alert. So you either picking my ass up, or you're picking every single other old person's ass who's got life alert up. So,
you know what you should do? Allegedly,
you should
just sneak into people's garages, and you should replace their little garage door opener in their cars with life alerts. So when they get home or when they leave in the morning, they go to press their garage door opener. It actually will,
God damn it, Mickey! Why do you have to ruin life alert?
That's gonna be a prank video on YouTube 2 weeks from now. I replaced my grandma's garage door opener with a life alert.
Now, why don't you do the same thing, but you apply it to more than 3 businesses? Fuck, he's got our formula. Fuck, oh shit, there it goes. There it all goes. Fucking Mickey's ruined all of life alert.
Better buy stock now.
Dude, may as well. Bro, this man excreted I can't even talk. Like alert. What do we do?
But you don't feel bad for buying up all the life alerts when there's elderly people that need them? Isn't that kind of like buying like masks?
Who feels bad about buying up all the stocks when they fucking go bad? Nobody. They just sell them and buy more stocks. Is it the same thing? Nobody feels bad about that. Are you kidding me? If I felt bad about buying the right vaccine stock, I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm just gonna buy the new fucking stock. Get the fuck out of here.
I need a life alert for when my boner goes down. When my boner falls down, I hit the button, and then like some 9 out of 10 or some 10 fucking smoking hot bitch comes in, starts fluffing my dick a little bit, just like a fluffer and a porn.
You gotta get the fluffer. You gotta get that fluffer money. Everybody
fluffer alert. Would you guys buy a fluffer alert if I made one?
You gotta get that fluffer money.
You hit a button when your boner falls, and then some girl comes to your house and starts fluffing you.
Yeah, dude.
Or whatever, a tiger, whatever you're into. I don't know if
like the fluffer's loose. Who do I grasp?
So no one else is anyone have any like accomplishments? I'm probably gonna wrap up pretty soon. We've been going for a little bit over an hour, but I wanna I got some clothes and laundry. I gotta
too many life alerts. Now that we're talking about it. No, I don't have too many, so if you have one, let her rip.
Bro, I'm gonna set up a GoFundMe for you so that we can get you as many life alerts as possible. But then
if you're gonna set up LifeWire, dude, just set it up for like the second any skilling podcast goes live, because Mickey, if you're doing all the PVM podcasts, there's got to be one person who's just waiting, like, okay, fletching's gone up 7 mil. Let's get on that shit. Get on that shit. Tight. That shit is tight. Like they're waiting on that. You already know.
Have like a Jamie Vernon, but like on the GE price tracker.
100%. Like, oh, that shit is tight. Get that shit. Like they're waiting on it. You already know.
We could have Call Me Wiki. We could have him like reading out prices of the current price of the GE for like prayer pots and
exactly 100%.
Ambulance of Fury and shit. But you know what? Look, see, if we do that life alert thing, your wish is going to turn into like a curse, because like at first you're going to wish for all the life alerts, but then you're going to be cursed with having 10,000 life alerts all activated in your house. If you bump into one, the police are instantly coming. So every time you're walking around your house, you're going to have 1,000 life alerts. You can't touch anything because the cops will be coming every time.
Here's something about me, Mickey, that you might not know. I smoke rocks. So I'm ready to go for that shit.
So you're always at the window. You're always peeping out the blinds. I got you.
Window. Yeah, when you got them coals that burn over 10,000 degrees. Goddamn.
So you're doing some. I got you, because like just like people that smoke crack, they spend a lot of times at the blinds. Like,
for one, I'm just playing, but for two, yeah, I'm ready to go. Fuck it, I don't care. I really don't care if you're doing this out of a fucking window, out of a fucking
wall.
Who cares? Wall.
Oh.
Yo, it's about me, Joe Rogan. That you might not know. I smoke rocks.
You're gonna be a one-man band for life alerts.
There's about to be a one-man.
I compressed it with my heel.
About life alert. So who cares, Joe Rogan? Who cares?
You'll be the voice for when old people press the button. There's something you don't know about me, Mr. Rogan. I smoke rock.
There's something about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know.
That would scare old people to death. Like if they think
you tell them like, here's something about me, Joe Rogan, that you might not know. I'm a bot.
I got diabetes.
I'm a bot. And tell them that fucking shit all the way in a row. Shit.
You got Juan Valdez spam bombing the commands channel.
Dude, all it is the bees. You need more bees? I'll give you some bees. Fuck out of here.
NBBBBBB.
What? You want more bees? You want more bees?
Red alert! Red alert!
Come on.
Is it laying down your fucking keyboard? What happened?
Mickey, you want some bees? Here's some bees. Get them bees out of here.
Oh my god.
All right, guys.
Bees?
Who wants some bees?
I gotta wrap it up. Unfortunately, I gotta wake up tomorrow and go to work and shit. But I wanna do some productive stuff, get the laundry done, and chill out a little bit and edit this podcast before it's time to crash. Cretan, I'd love for us to do a podcast where you actually mean to join first. And
what's happening?
Not that I had a great time with you on here now. I'm at the Motherlode mine, so I can hurry up and get. I'm at 47 mining right now and 34 smithing. So
you're good right there. Then you can boost from there.
For real?
Yeah.
Cool. So I might.
Where can you boost from?
47.
47. All right. Shit.
Cool.
Well,
so I might.
I'll be tripping. We know that now.
I'll start going to fishing now, I guess, and start getting that done. So yeah, man. Please come on again if you have any free time. We'll set that up one day. And same thing for you, Juan and Sean Boy, as always. Thanks for
game. Well,
thanks for showing. Oh yeah, what's your in-game name?
Szechuan Juan, like
I got you.
Like the racists like to say.
You can just type it under the B, so get it.
Yeah. type it under the B's. We'll get it eventually. Nobody cares. So
Szechuan Juan, one word. And
Szechuan Juan, all one word.
Cretan, yours is the same. Cretan, I believe.
Yeah.
Cool. And Smack Nuts, you're just Smack Nuts. Sean Boy. Sean Boy is Sean SEAN space boy. Sean Boy. All right, guys. Fire right 666. Not satanic, but 666. I had a great time, and I will talk to y'all soon.
All right, man.
See you.
Take it easy, buddy. Good shit.
Oh, he just dipped, and Greg's still in here, dude.